How's it going, guys? Kevin back at you with another video. In today's video, we're talking about product updates for the Element Ecto / Element Zuul, as well as the Mojave 4S. So with that, let's get into some of the changes. All right, so we are starting with the Element Ecto here. So right now, locked as per usual. Gonna twist this for 90 degrees, and then just kind of pop that up in the rear. Pop that up in the front, just like so. And you can see the rear is identical, but the front we have a new piece here. So the key difference is we've added these outer braces now, basically. So this bolt is now an M3x16. This goes all the way across to the other side. You can see this is an 18 millimeter that I was testing earlier, but the 16 actually comes and is perfectly flush on the inside, so that way it won't interfere if you have anything like a big server or whatnot. But this replaces the two separate pieces, and it also acts as a nice center brace with an addition to the extra side pieces here. So this will just make this piece much, much stronger. As with any of these designs, I'm sure somebody's gonna figure out a way to break it. If you do break it, reach out to me. I'll sell you just this individual piece at the individual piece price. On the body side, no changes here. These are just the same as before. And like I mentioned at the start, the rear is still identical. So this will work on the Element Ecto as well as the Zuul. I have gotten some feedback from customers where they want slightly higher body side pieces for the Zuul. If you do receive this and you end up wanting those taller ones or wanting different adjustment, just reach out to me. I have multiple different height versions with this, so that way if you want some taller ones, just let me know and I can send those over your way. So with that, let's jump over to the Mojave 4S. Alrighty, so on the Mojave 4S here, again, well, I'll keep this locked here just to show you, nice and secure. Again, our simple 90-degree twist, just like so. Pop up that side, pop up the rear, come to the front, just a little pop up, take that off. And then underneath, you'll notice the front and rear pieces, they're actually now going to be different. So for the rear pieces, there's just going to be an R on it. The front pieces do not have this R, so you can see that it's missing here. But the key thing is you'll notice these bolts here. So these are M4s. I believe they're M4s by 20 millimeters. You can measure them when you get them in the kit if you need to replace them at any point. But basically these go all the way down, and then the bolts that are on the side, the M2.5, those are now M2.5 by, I believe it's a 6 millimeter or 4 millimeter. Forget off the top of my head here, but they replace those because this bolt, if you can tell, goes all the way down, and so that basically adds a ton of forward, horizontal strength as well as lateral strength here, left to right, and really helps to strengthen these up quite a bit. Now, of course, the rest of it's still all the durable resin, so it can take some decent impacts, but it is not completely indestructible. I've tried to smash this pretty darn good. Haven't been able to break it yet. But I'm sure if you guys are sending this 20-25 feet in the air and you're landing directly on the body, at some point you guys will break it. These parts do have a limit. However, if you're driving normally, just normal casual user, these are going to hold up a lot better than the original design. They're going to be much stronger because of these extra bolts. So on the bottom of these pieces, the last 2 or 3 millimeters, there's threads. So it will be smooth the whole way down. You can kind of push it down until it stops, and then you just thread it in the last little bit. And like I mentioned, the screws that are on the inside that you'll pop out when you take the shock. So take the screw out, shock moves out of the way, and you can access the bolt underneath here. You'll replace that with the screws that are included in the kit. So with that, that's the only real changes for the Mojave 4S. The rest of the parts are all identical. One last thing as a reminder, the rear piece is different from the front piece. And that's because the height on the side here for where the bolt goes through is a slightly different height for the rear. And again, you can kind of see it. Hopefully you can get a good look of it there. That is the R right there for the rear. If you do mix them up, you just won't be able to find that screw on the side. So no big deal there. You just swap them if you end up running into that. So thank you guys so much again for checking out these updates to the trucks. I'll throw this back on here. So again, like usual, I kind of just recommend you wiggle it down. In this case, got to move it a little bit farther forward. There we go. So push it down, get our nice 90-degree twist, find the front ones. Let's see, looks like we're off to the side a little bit. Just gonna check it. And with this one, if you are struggling, can always just take a peek. So I can see them just a little bit off towards me. So that's just because I'm using myself. So there we go. Now it's nice and secure. Pick it up, nice and locked. Once you do it many times, it gets really, really quick and easy. But thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I will catch you guys next time.